Okay, let's dive right in. Vietnamese tones. If you're learning or honestly even just curious about the language, tones are, well, they're fundamental.
Absolutely. And maybe a little intimidating at first glance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's not like an optional extra. Vietnamese is a tonal language.
Right. And that means the pitch, the way your voice goes up or down, it completely changes what a word means.
It's just like a whole different layer of sound you have to master.
Uh-huh. We've been looking through this really helpful beginner's guide, and today, our mission is basically to unlock that melody.
The secret melody, I like that. By really getting to grips with the 6 distinct tones.
6 tones, that's right. At least in the standard Northern Vietnamese dialect we're focusing on from this guide. Think of them as 6 unique shapes your voice needs to make.
Shapes, okay.
Yeah, each one has its own name, its own little mark usually, and a specific pitch contour or ship.
So where do we start? How do we, decode this?
Well, the easiest place to start is probably the ngang tone. It's often called the mid-level tone. Mid-level.
Okay.
And the key thing, no tone mark, nothing written above or below the vowel.
Oh, okay. So if you see no mark, it's ngang.
Exactly. And your voice just stays steady, right in the middle. No rising, no falling, kind of flat.
Like ba. That means father or 3, right?
Perfect example. Ba. Nice and even.
Simple enough to start. So from that flat line, where do we go?
Well, think about moving down first. That's the huyen tone. It's marked with the backward / the grave accent.
Good. Yeah.
And it's the low falling tone. So your voice starts kind of mid-low, maybe a bit lower than in gang, and just drifts down smoothly.
Drifts down. So ba for grandmother.
Exactly. Ba, a gentle slide down.
Okay. So if we have falling, we must have rising.
You got it. That's the sac tone, marked with the forward / da, the acute accent.
Cigar.
High rising.
Yep, high rising. It does pretty much the opposite of when. Starts maybe mid-high, a bit higher than guy, and then zips up sharply. Zips up, like ba. The guide mentioned that's a regional term for, like, father's older sibling. Or even to rule.
That's the one. Ba. A quick upward flick.
Okay, so we have steady, falling, rising. Those seem like the basic directions. What else is there? Things get trickier now.
A little bit, yeah. Next up is the height tone. Now, this one uses a hook, or, well, basically a question mark above the vowel.
The question mark. Huh.
And that's a good clue. It's called low dipping rising. Your voice starts mid-low, dips down, and then rises just a little bit at the very end.
Dips, then rises. So it kind of sounds like you're asking something.
It really can, yeah. That little lift at the end. An example is ba.
Ba. Okay, the guide gave a few meanings for that one. Poison, bait, or even she. Colloquially.
That's right. Multiple meanings, one distinct sound shape.
Okay, tone number 5.
That would be the nenga tone, marked with the tilde, the little squiggle.
Okay.
This one's interesting. The guide calls it high broken or high rising. It starts high, maybe like sec, but then there's often this catch.
A catch.
Yeah, like a tiny pause or break in your throat, a glottal stop, and then it might rise again. It can sound a bit creaky sometimes, especially in northern speech.
A glottal stop.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of, that little stop.
Exactly that feeling, that little break. The example word is bem.
Bem. Meaning dregs or residue.
Yeah.
You can almost feel that little bump or break in the sound.
Precisely. And that leaves us with number 6.
The last one. Neng.
Nun tone. This one's different because the mark goes below the vowel. It's just a dot.
Ah, a dot underneath. Okay.
And it's the low dropping tone. Your voice starts low, maybe like huyan begins, but then it drops sharply, very quick. And it often ends abruptly, again, with that glottal stop feel.
So short and sharp, falling low.
Exactly. Makes the syllable sound quite short and emphatic, like ba.
Ba, which means to meet by chance or indiscriminately. It does sound kind of clipped.
It does. It's a very distinct heavy drop.
Wow. Okay, 6 tones. Dang flat. Huyen falling, suck rising, high dip rise, meng high broken rise, and neng sharp drop.
Oh, got it.
But here's the thing, and the guide really nails this with the Ba family example. This is why it all matters so much, isn't it?
It's the perfect illustration. Seriously, we just went through them, but let's line them up. You have ba.
Mid-level, father or 3.
Then ba.
Low falling, grandmother, high rising. Relative or rule, low dip rise, poison, bait, she, high broken rise, dregs, residue,
and ba.
Low sharp drop, meet by chance. indiscriminately.
6 words, spelled almost identically, just the tone mark changes, and the meaning completely different.
It's actually mind-blowing. Just that little change in pitch carries so much weight. It hammers home why you can't just, guess the tone.
Not if you want to be understood, no. Which is why practice is key. You have to train your ear.
What does the guide suggest for practice?
Well, the big one is just listening, a lot, to native speakers, pay attention to the melody, and then when you try speaking, exaggerate the tones at first. Really overdo the ups and downs and shapes.
It's super obvious.
Yeah. It helps you feel the difference. Recording yourself is great too, even if it feels weird. You'll hear things you don't notice while speaking.
Good point.
And practice minimal pairs, like that ba family. Words that are identical except for the tone. That really hones your listening and pronunciation. And, be patient. It takes time.
Definitely. It's a skill.
Yeah.
So, okay, that wraps up our deep dive into the 6 tones. You basically got the foundational knowledge now.
The first step, yeah. Understanding why they're crucial and what they are.
And hopefully you see how mastering these is the key to actually communicating clearly in Vietnamese. So, Tuc Mung, congratulations on taking this step.
Absolutely. And maybe here's something to think about. The next time you hear Vietnamese spoken, or maybe another tonal language like Mandarin or Thai, really try to listen for the pitch.
Yeah, actively tune in.
Can you start to hear those rises, those falls, those dips? Can you sense how these subtle shifts in sound carry such huge differences in meaning? It's pretty fascinating when you start to notice it.
A great challenge for the ears. Well, until next time. Hang up, Lai.
See you again.